In winter, houseplants don't die from cold, and not from darkness either. Most of the time they die from care, from good intentions, from kind hands that keep feeding them in December as if it were June outside. That is exactly why this video is worth watching all the way through. Because one wrong feeding decision in winter can kill a plant slowly, without obvious signs, while the right approach can keep it alive until spring, and even make it bloom when others are fading. By December, daylight becomes so short that for most plants it is a clear alarm signal. Their metabolism slows down, growth almost stops, and the roots work at half capacity. If you keep applying fertilizer using a summer routine, the soil starts to acidify, salts build up, and the roots suffer chemical burn. The plant cannot process this. It does not die immediately. It simply begins to decline quietly, week after week. But there is an important nuance here. Not all plants sleep in winter. And this is where things become interesting. There is a group of house plants that truly need feeding in winter. These are plants that actively grow and bloom during the cold season. Azaleas, poinsettias, Christmas cactus, cyclamen, begonias, and African violets. If you have plants on your windowsill right now with buds or flowers, they are spending energy, and without nutrition they will not last long. There is another group, plants without a clearly defined dormancy period. These are species native to humid tropical forests where seasonal changes are minimal. Ficus, palms, peace lilies, monstera, umbrella sedge, dieffenbachia, wandering dude, alocasia, geraniums, and ferns. In winter, they do not need aggressive feeding. What they need is support. Very moderate, careful feeding with reduced concentration. And finally, the third category, plants that should not be touched at all in winter. These are plants that enter deep dormancy in December. In some cases, the above-ground part dies back completely, leaving only bulbs or tubers. Gloxinia, amaryllis, achaemenes, caladiums. The same applies to cacti and most succulents. Feeding them during this period is a direct path to rot. Now, the most important question. When should you actually feed plants in winter? If a plant shows clear signs of mineral deficiency, feeding is allowed even in December, but only with reduced dosage, at least half the normal amount. Nitrogen deficiency is easy to spot. Lower leaves turn pale green, new leaves become smaller, and shoots turn weak and brittle. Phosphorus deficiency shows up as darkened leaves with a bluish-green tint and delayed or absent flowering. Potassium deficiency appears as yellowing leaves, browning leaf tips, curling edges, and sometimes brown spot disease. If you see these signs, the plant is not sleeping. It is asking for help. Now, about fertilizers. In winter, standard summer fertilizers should not be used. You need mineral blends with reduced nitrogen content. The optimal ratio is 1 to 2 to 3 in terms of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Always dilute strictly according to instructions, and ideally even weaker. Specialized fertilizers for houseplants or for specific plant types are the safest option. Organic fertilizers must be used with caution in winter. For large plants, diluted poultry manure is acceptable. For most other plants, a weak vermicompost solution is better. Dry manure must be soaked in water for a full day, then diluted at a ratio of 1 to 20. Never apply concentrated solutions. Organic fertilizers with vermicompost and beneficial bacteria deserve special mention. They work gently, do not cause salt buildup, and support healthy root microflora. Slow-release forms and liquid concentrates with amino acids and humic acids are especially effective. They do not force growth. They help plants survive winter stress and maintain immunity. Now, let's talk about home remedies. Succinic acid is one of the best winter supplements. It is not a fertilizer in the classical sense, but it boosts immunity, stimulates roots, and helps plants recover from stress. It is available in tablets, powders, and liquid solutions. Ready-made liquid solutions are the most convenient. Sugar is a simple source of glucose. It provides energy, but it must be used sparingly. The solution is 1 tablespoon of sugar per 1 liter of water. Apply no more than once every 1.5 to 2 months. Otherwise, fungus gnats will appear. In winter, many plants suffer from chlorosis. To prevent this, use micronutrients containing magnesium and iron, preferably in chelated form. These are absorbed even under low light conditions. How often should you feed in winter? Flowering plants can be fed 1 or 2 times per month. Decorative foliage plants once every 1.5 to 2 months. Fertilizers should only be applied after watering, preferably in the morning. Dosage should be reduced by at least half compared to normal. More often, it should be reduced by 2 to 3 times compared to summer rates. Only actively flowering plants should receive full doses. Foliar feeding in winter is allowed only for actively growing and flowering plants. Apply it in the morning or evening, alternating with root feeding. And finally, care. In winter, it is just as important as fertilization. Dormant plants need minimal watering and cool conditions. Actively growing plants need regular watering and gentle feeding. Indoor humidity should be kept between 50 and 70% for most plants. Use misting, water trays, or humidifiers. Group plants with similar care requirements together. Temperature for flowering and active plants should range from about 60 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Dormant plants are comfortable at around 40 to 54 degrees. Protect plants from cold drafts near windows, from sudden temperature changes, and from dry heat coming from radiators. Winter is not a pause. It is a test. And if you do everything right now, your plants will reward you in spring with healthy growth and blooms. If this video was helpful, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel for more honest, practical plant care breakdowns. And make sure to share this video with anyone who loses houseplants every winter without ever understanding why.